Excited about our year. Excited about this group. We've got a really good group of guys that are here for all the right reasons. They love South Alabama. They want to be part of our program. They're hungry to prove that a lot of them, belong at this level, and I truly believe that they do. That's why we recruited them. We got a good mix of returners that have played meaningful minutes, but then we also got some newcomers that have played a lot of meaningful championship minutes at other programs. A lot of those newcomers are guys that came from the NAI level, the Division II level. We've had some success with those guys in the past. I think this group has a chance to be the same way that way, do some really, really positive things that impact winning. We also got some guys from the Division I level that came in. Barry Dunning's here, who's a Mobile native, guy we've tried to recruit multiple times. We finally got him here. Excited for what he can do, but just an overall group of guys that, when you look at us on paper, you may not, know what some of these guys have done, but when you take a deep dive and you see the winning that they've done, when you look at their game, when you look at the fact they have a chip on their shoulder, and when you add that to the fact that they're here because they love South Alabama and are going to play with that type of pride, it's an exciting group to coach and also an exciting group to root for.
It's kind of the way college basketball now, but you kind of flip the roster every year. How difficult is it to do that, and how have you navigated that this offseason?
It's hard. It gets harder every year. You got a different roster every year, and it goes both ways too. If you have guys that play really well, sometimes you lose those guys with the landscape of college hoops now, the way that it is with the NIL. It's kind of cool to get in the transfer portal for people. And then if guys you're trying to develop younger guys, sometimes they get frustrated and they jump ship and they go somewhere else where they can, get more guaranteed minutes earlier. So you get it both ways, and that's everywhere in the country, not just at South Alabama. So you got to navigate your roster. I think it's still important that you have a good mix. You don't want to have 9 seniors on your team. That's hard for your team to be cohesive that way. You want to have a good mix, and I think we've done that. I think we've done a good job of continuing to recruit high school kids. I think we've redshirted guys, too, like John Broom. He's a guy we redshirted last year that has gotten drastically better. I think he's really going to be able to help our team this year. And then we added some experience, too. You add some one-year guys that have came in, a guy like J.J. Wheat, who won a national championship at Freed Hardeman at the NAI level. So he's experienced the highest level of winning at the level that he was at. You got guys like Dylan Faciaro, who was a top 20 team in the country at Damon. He was their leading scorer. So you bring in guys like that are veterans that have experienced winning. And then also when you had the transfer portal, you try to find some guys with multiple years left. And I think we did that. Jaden Cooper had an unbelievable freshman year at Faulkner. Was freshman of the year, all-conference guy as a freshman, and he's coming in with 3 years to play. Barry Dunning has 2 years to play. Randy Brady has 2 years to play. J.J. Wheat has 2 years to play. So I think you want to find that good mix, and I think we've done that. I think we have limitations to what we can do in this landscape. From the NIL climate has changed things a lot for us. So our rosters don't. Used to, we would have 5 or 6 SEC guys. The landscape's much different now, but that doesn't change the expectation we have for our team. It doesn't change the way that we recruit. We want talented dudes that are team-first guys that want to be coached, that want to get better, that want to be here at South Alabama. That's really important to me, that they take pride in this place and they come here and they love this place like I do. And I think we really went out and did that. So this has been an enjoyable group to coach, as enjoyable group as I've had. So you hope that pays off with results when we get out there and get under the lights for real.
How different will this team be on the court from last year, or will it be different? I mean, does the style change at all?
I think, it's drastically different. Defensively, I think, is the biggest difference, how we play. I think we're more athletic. I think we're quicker. I think we have guys that really get after you. Last year, our team wasn't really like that. We had some injuries and, this and that. But just our makeup of our team wasn't really that. These guys are that, and these guys have a real understanding of they have to play like their hair's on fire to give us a chance to win games. And they embrace that. They practice harder than any team that I've had since I've been here, and that's been a consistent thing. So I think they'll play harder than any team that I've had since I've been here. And we have to have that. We've got to have that mentality. This team is put together more like my personality. And I did that on purpose. Last year was a great group of kids, but it was a struggle in a lot of ways because who I am didn't really match with our personnel necessarily. So this year I think that it does. I think our guys play with a big chip on their shoulder. I think they're a group that really, again, wants to prove that they deserve to be here, and they've worked that way every day with that. I think depth-wise with this team, we got more depth than we've had. I think we have 11 guys, maybe even 12 on certain that can get out there. I don't know that we have a guy, we don't have any preseason all-conference guys, Our teams used to have 3 of them, 4 of them sometimes. But we have a lot of guys that can impact winning and a lot of guys that'll do that on any given night. So I think that's a positive for us, and we've got to use that. We got to do it as a pack. It's a pack mentality. It's not going to be 1 or 2 guys. It's going to be every single guy that we have, and every single guy has to be ready for their moment.
I'm working hard all summer, working hard in the spring, working hard in the fall. How difficult are these next couple of weeks before you finally get to play?
This time of the year gets kind of hard because you've practiced a lot and you've went out there and you've battled each other every day, and it just kind of stretches out on you where you're ready to play somebody else. And I'm trying to keep our guys in the mindset of it's a process. We got to get better every single day. We can't take one day off of not getting better. We have to be obsessed with improving. And they've embraced that, but I can tell they're ready to play somebody else. I mean, just like any team. And I'm excited to play somebody else. I always say, people ask me all the time, how good, what do you think? And I tell them I love coaching these guys first and foremost. I love coaching them. I show up to practice every day, and I'm genuinely excited to coach these dudes. But you don't ever know how good you are until you play somebody else. And then when you play somebody else, you got to learn from what you did well, and you got to learn from what you need to improve on. And that's the process that you have to have every day. But we're in the mindset with this team. We have to just stay in that moment of getting better. And I think these guys understand that, and they embrace that more so than any team I've had. So while we're excited to play somebody else, which is coming really soon, we're also excited just to get better every day.
And lastly, this team will be successful if this happens.
This team will be successful if we defend and rebound at a high level. I've kind of came up in coaching more so. I'm an offensive-minded guy. I think most of the time you go one way or another, whether it's football or basketball, whatever it is. But I've really embraced the defensive side with this group. I've took a hands-on approach of that's our identity. That's who we have to be. We have to be elite defensively. We have to protect the paint. We have to find a way to create turnovers, and then we have to control the glass. We're not the biggest team in stature. We're not. We don't have a Kevin Samuel who we had a few years ago who's a 7-footer in there. We don't have a Javon Franklin who we had a few years ago who's an elite shot blocker. Some of the guys we've had over the years, we're smaller, so we have to be just nasty on the glass. We have to have a mentality that it's going to be 5 of us attacking that glass every single time, attacking the ball, and a playmaker mentality. We've talked about that a lot. We want to be playmakers when it comes to rebounding and defense, and obviously offense too, but we can't stand and watch. We can't anticipate that, our other guy's going to get a rebound. We have to have 5 guys attacking it. Same thing when we're trying to get stops. We got to have 5 guys working together, 5 guys, just maxing out every possession, and then when you get tired, we got depth that we can bring in there behind you. So if we defend and we rebound, and obviously value is a key thing for me too. We got to win the turnover battle. We got to take care of the ball. But this team, the calling card has to be defensive rebounding. And there is no speculation with that. That's what it has to be for us to be successful.
I'm excited, very excited. We've worked extremely hard over the summer preseason, and so it's just a lot of excitement for this upcoming season. Excitement for the the new team we have. And so just I would say just excitement.
Let's talk about the strengths of that new team. What do you have?
I think we're a very tall, long team, which really helps defensively, rebounding, things like that. And then we're athletic, and so we're able to get up, press you a little bit. Like I said, rebound and then push and run in transition.
Schedule obviously is always tough, especially in the non-conference. How good is that to see how to get tested that quick?
Good. I think I'm looking forward to it. I know the preseason ranking just came out. Ole Miss is 24 or something like that, so that'll be good. TCU is always good. So I think every game for us is a big game, but I think it's good to get tested early on, see kind of where our strengths and weaknesses are, and then be able to work on those things early. So when we get to conference, we're able to make those adjustments.
What do you want to build off of personally from last year?
Ooh, I would say for me personally, over this summer, the one thing I've really worked on is staying healthy. I went down with a major injury last year, and then the year before there was some injuries preseason. And so my big thing was staying healthy, keeping my body right, doing all the things I need to do that people really don't see to stay on the court and stay healthy. And so for me, that was the big thing at the end of the season, going into this season. And thanks be to God, I've been healthy all summer. I've been healthy all preseason. And so I would say that that's the one thing. Staying healthy, staying on the floor, keeping my body right.
So for us, I think a lot of things is just like how connected we are this year. We all have one set goal, and that's to win a championship and make a run in the tournament. Ever since the beginning of summer, all these new guys came in hungry. We got a lot of transfers, a lot of D2, NAIA, so just guys who really got it out the mud and who are really hustle, hardworking players. So I think that's something that we bring as a team. We bring that grit. We have some dogs on our team, so I'm excited about that.
And it's kind of the way of the world. Your roster changes almost 100% every year.
Yep.
And you've made that transition the past couple of years.
For sure.
How difficult is it, or how easy is it to get new teammates into the fold?
I think a lot of times the struggle is if you have guys coming in with egos or attitudes or thinking like there's something that they're not. But something that I really love about this team is that we just have that one set goal. We're a very selfless team. If we can make an extra pass to have somebody have a better shot, we'll do that. We want to see our teammates win because individual success comes from having team success. So we win games, everybody looks good. So I think that's a huge thing for us is just like the unselfishness of this team.
On the court, how different will this team be than, say, last year?
I think two things. Starting defensively, we have a lot more energy. We're really pushing our defense this year to be able to keep teams limited to their options, what they can do against us. And then offensively, we're really having that ball talk, kind of going back to the selflessness thing. Like everybody wants the best shot for each other. We're constantly moving, constantly looking for the best shot. So I think it's going to be a fast-paced game, both ends of the floor. It's really exciting to watch.
What do you want to see from your game this year?
From my game, I would just say consistency. I want to, every time I go in, I want the coaches to know what I have to offer. I want to be able to help my team out with that scoring, rebounding, just my vocalness as a leader. Because even if you don't score, you can always lead by body language, by talk. So I just want to make sure that I can do that on the court.
How ready are you to get November 14th?
I'm so excited. I'm super ready. Like I said, we've been going since summer. Really just been prepping all year. These guys are working their butts off, so I'm excited to see that work pay off.